Hey, everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with the Friday edition of Today in Sports Betting. TGIF, everybody. Hope everybody had a great week, and hopefully your Friday is going to be quick and painless as you head on into the holiday weekend. So welcome aboard. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Scott and I are going to take a look at a couple of our favorite baseball games, maybe hit a couple of others on the way out, and just give you a little food for thought out there. So, Scott, welcome aboard. Happy Friday, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep. I had a pretty profitable day in baseball yesterday. How'd your day go?
Good. Had the White Sox. They got there eventually. Took a minute. Kind of thought they were going to not be able to get together, cover that number, but they put together a nice eighth inning, and Bob's your uncle, or seventh inning. I can't remember.
How much they win by in the end?
They win 6-2,
Okay.
5-1,
Nice.
something like that. Yeah,
All right.
5-1, I believe.
Cool.
So yeah, worked out.
That was close to my play of the day. So I ended up picking something else. I had the Cardinals. They won in extras. I had to blow a 4-run lead. It's never easy. But still, nice day.
Arizona stays ice cold, everybody.
But money will always come in on them, apparently, because they're favored again today.
Who is doing that, Scott?
The same people that bet the Lakers over yesterday.
You beat me to it.
Makes no damn sense.
Absolutely correct. All right, so let's take a look in the National League. Scott, as certainly maybe not my favorite pitcher, but certainly my favorite name, is Ian Anderson. Goes for the Atlanta Braves against the New York Mets and Taijuan Walker. Both of these pitchers, Scott, are pitching extremely well this season. Braves, however, big favorite in this one. Well, big-ish favorite, minus 140. And the total on this game, Scott, is 6.5.
I see 7 on FanDuel, but you can kind of find either or.
Boy, I've got 6.5 across the board. So if you've got a 7 and you want to play the under, that's your spot right there. The Mets, Scott.
They've won games. They can't hit, but they've won games. They won a doubleheader yesterday, but it's against Colorado. Does that really count? I don't know.
It does. I checked the standings. They had two more ticks in the win column than they had when it started. So yeah, it absolutely counts.
Still can't hit, but man, they can pitch.
They are not. Well, Scott, everybody's hurt. So
yeah, they're all injured.
That's part of the problem for the Mets. It's like the beginning of Major League when he's like, I've never heard of half of these guys. Like, yeah, That's absolutely true. So you want any part of an under here, Scott, at 6.5?
I like the first 5 under. I mean, I'm looking at the Mets, number 3 in the entire league in ERA. They can pitch. And you look at Atlanta, this team is only 500 on the road, so they're not very good on the highway. Then again, they're also 1 under overall, so they're not very good overall. But Mets can't score. Each of the last 6 games have gone under 7. I think this total at 6.5 still might be a little bit too high. But I do have some reservations about the Braves' talent offensively. I'll go with the first 5 under because Walker's looked really good, and I think Ian Anderson's very good. So I'll go with the first 5 under. Probably 3.5, maybe a 4, but I highly doubt 4. So it's probably going to be 3.5.
On what?
I was going to say, if you can get 7 somewhere, maybe you can find a 4, but probably not.
Go home. You're drunk.
I'm saying it's going to be 3.5.
If you get 3.5, get down on your knees. You may get a 3 here.
I think you'll get 3.5. But
you should get 3.5, but I'm saying you've got a better shot at 3 than you do 4.
Yeah, 4 I think would take a miracle, but maybe you'll see over money. Who knows? I'm going to go with the under just because the Mets can hit and they're very good at pitching.
You got to like the little fella's spunk and optimism. I got to give you that. But yes,
you got to pray for some things every now and then.
Ian Anderson's been very good over his last 2. Scott, 12 innings pitched, just 1 earned run. Had a little hiccup there to start the season, and had a little hiccup before those last 2 starts. But I think he's good. He's also a pretty good pitcher away from home. He's 2.49 on the road, so that's outstanding. Scott, Taijuan Walker has been really, really good his last 3. 0.53 ERA, 0.53 on the whip. So outstanding job for Mr. Walker. He's a guy that's going to go deep into games, give you probably 6,
Yep.
So I don't hate your play. I don't hate your play at all. I think that's a little too much wood to chop for Atlanta there, so I would tend to play something with the total here. This Mets bullpen, Scott, at home especially, have been absolutely lights out. 1.46 ERA, 108 WHIP. Break up the bullpen, man.
Sounds like you like the Braves team total under.
I don't hate that. You're probably going to get the Braves at probably going to be 3.5 apiece, I would guess.
I would assume so. Probably some decent amount of juice on the over for the Braves.
Yep,
I'll
exactly
check
right.
now.
Yeah, juice to the over on the Braves, juice to the under. I probably like the Mets team total under as well.
I see the Mets team total on DraftKings at 2.5.
Don't care for that. I was worried that might be the case. You're at that 140 mark and you're really close to where they make it.
For Braves team total, by the way, it's 3.5 minus 108 on both sides.
They did 3.5, 2.5.
Yeah.
Oh,
At least on DraftKings, that's what it did.
That's some bullshit right there.
You could probably find better lines elsewhere, but that's what I see on DraftKings.
Well, you're certainly not going to do any worse. So yeah, be patient there.
I like DraftKings. They get the lines up early. Doesn't mean they're good, but they get the lines up.
No, they're often very, very shitty lines. So, I'm going to relocate anywhere. I'm going to definitely relocate somewhere that has a DraftKings.
Either DraftKings or FanDuel, either way.
Yeah, either way. Oh, they both just a lot of dartboard lines. I love both those sites, man. Okay, Scott. So let's talk about one a little closer to home as the Kansas City Royals travel up I-35 to take on the Minnesota Twins. Chris Bubich, who I got to see live in person last week, Scott. Pretty good.
Nails.
Pretty good outing there as he gave up just 1 hit and 6 runs against the Brewers. Although it was the Brewers. 6 innings, you mean. What did I say?
You said 6 runs. 6 innings, 1 hit, no runs.
That's correct. Yes, that's what I meant to say. 6 innings, 1 hit, no runs. It'll be curious to see what he does against a major league lineup after facing the Brewers. But he was outstanding. He was good in his last start. Scott, Randy Dobnak, the darling of at least the first half of the 2020 season. Senior Dobnak, who has a Fu Manchu, by the way, that I dream about having. It is full on Fu, and it is absolutely glorious. But
he's been good.
Well, Scott, he hasn't been good. Here's the deal. He's really struggled this season. They made him the long reliever. That didn't work out very well. He wasn't a starter coming out of camp.
I'm saying, though, since he became the starter, he's actually been pretty good.
He had an outstanding start against Cleveland. It really was reminiscent of that streak that he had last year, Scott. And he was very good as he came out of the gates. He went 5-1 in his first 6 starts, 1.78 ERA, and a 1.04 WHIP. Then the wheels didn't exactly fall off, but they got a little rickety. He kind of came back to earth. But he's a guy that pitches to contact. He's not a high strikeout guy, but he doesn't walk a lot of batters, and that's a good thing because the Royals, they don't walk anyway, except for Santana. So, I'm probably going to play some kind of total here, Scott. What do you got? What are you on?
It's kind of a tough spot for me because I actually like the Twins in this spot, but I think 145 is a bit too juicy.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about the number. It did open at 130, and it's Twins money is poured in. It's now, like I said, 145. Unless you want to go DraftKings, then it's 160.
Yeah, if you look at the Twins, they've won 4 in a row, so maybe they're starting to figure it out. But at the end of the day, you can attest to it. Whenever the Twins play the Royals, it's usually pain and suffering for Royals fans because the Twins tend to smack the crap out of them.
Yep. It's been an ugly couple 3 years here for.
So I'm gonna go with the Twins. I know Bubich has been pretty good. Even Dobnak has been good as a starter in 1 start, but that lineup for the Twins is still good. And Kansas City's not really good at hitting. So I think the starters might cancel each other out, and I think that Kansas City's bullpen might implode. I'll go with the Twins. I've just seen them kill the Royals too many times.
Yeah, the Royals team really struggled to score. They've scored just 8 runs in their last 4 games. I doubt it gets a lot better against Randy Dobnak. So I'll fade the boys in blue there, Scott. I also will back Senior Dobnak in that game. So, all right. What else you got going on? Anything else you like?
Well, looking at the rest of the card, I got to be tempted by the White Sox. Maybe be my play of the day. Not sure what I'm going to do. Keuchel's on the mound against Matt Harvey. We tried to praise Matt Harvey for as little of a time period as we could. And then he became Matt Harvey again. It happens. Clock struck midnight, became a pumpkin again. 3-5, 6.31 ERA. 1.58 whip. And if you look at the results lately, it has gotten a lot worse. The last 3 starts faced off against, last 4. Faced off against the Red Sox. 4 innings, 4 runs. Meh. 4 1/3 against the Mets. They can't hit against anybody. 4 1/3, 7 runs. Faced off against Tampa. 1 2/3, 6 earned runs. Faced off against the Nationals. 4 2/3, 6 runs, 5 earned. And now we face off against the White Sox, who probably have a top 3 lineup in the league in Chicago. Ouch. I'll look at the White Sox -1.5. Team total I saw was 4.5 on DraftKings at around -140. It's a little too juicy for me, but damn, I expect Harvey to get killed in this game.
You know, I've got a site that gives you different options for team totals, and probably get even money on 5.5. I wouldn't even be afraid of that.
Keuchel's been pretty good. I can't say that he has dynamic stuff, but he's a grinder, and he finds his way through innings. Orioles also not very good at hitting, but I just think Harvey.
But at least their bullpen sucks.
Yeah, I was going to say, at least they're consistently bad. I just think that Harvey's going to get shelled.
If you don't see a minimum of 4 innings of the Orioles bullpen, I will be stunned in this game.
Same here. I just think that Harvey's going to get killed by this team.
He's also given up the long ball, Scott, and that's a bad look heading into a series against the Chicago White Sox. He's given up 4 home runs in those 4 games, and that's totals 14 2/3 innings. So he's it's not good. He's given up 1 home run about every 3.5 innings. That's not a good look.
By the way, we roasted Arizona for losing about 10 in a row at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore is now on a 10-game losing streak. So
yeah, and I believe they've lost 17 of 19.
That definitely sounds right. And if you look at the results lately, not exactly great covering the run line. They tend to get killed, and by more than 1 run frequently. If Chicago gets to 5 or 6, which they should, I'm not even sure the Orioles get past 3. So I'll go with the White Sox.
All right, very good. Yeah, when they started this streak, where I said they've lost 17 of 19, they're 1 game over 500.
Yeah.
Remember 3 weeks ago when Baltimore was over 500? Good God.
FanGraphs gave them a 0.0% chance of making the playoffs. And the Orioles fans started taunting, going, "We're not that terrible." No, you are. You are that terrible. So just remember that, because that team is bad.
Yeah,
this is really bad.
This is a White Sox team that has just abused bad teams. They've gone 14-8 against teams with losing records.
We don't like La Russa, but we like the roster.
Yeah, they winning in spite of La Russa. So,
you have any games you want to talk about?
Oh, let me see if anything else here stands out.
I'll go quickly. Coles against Mize. Love the first 5 under. Total in that one's 7. So I'm assuming you'll get 3.5. No chance. I can't even pretend you'll get a chance at 4 with Cole on the mound, but I think you'll get 3.5. Probably juiced to the under. -130 maybe on 3.5.
Yeah, probably.
But I gotta like the first 5 under there. You look at Cole, already faced Detroit once this season. Shocker, they couldn't touch him. And if you look at the Yankees, they're not exactly hitting the ball too well. Had a doubleheader yesterday, so I am curious if fatigue might play a little bit of a factor. But you're looking at Mize. He's been good. 3-3, 3.42 ERA, 1.12 whip. But you're looking at his recent results. He's been really, really good. You can go through the last 4 outings. 6 innings, 1 run against Boston. They have a good lineup. 6 innings, 2 runs against the Royals. 7 2/3, 1 run against the Mariners. And 6 1/3, 1 run against the Royals. The guy can pitch. And you're looking at him against Cole. I see a lot of zeros on that scoreboard. So I'll go first 5 under 3.5.
Okay. Maybe take a spin, Scott. I know I get sucked into this team because I like this team more than I should. It's Miami against Boston. And again,
I don't know much about Petit.
Well, stop me if you've heard this before. He's a great young pitcher that pitches for the Marlins that nobody's ever heard of. How about that?
I heard a rumor now that you mention it that he has great stuff.
Does have great stuff. Cody Poteet has made 3 starts this season, just got called up on the 12th of May. And they've gone 2-1 in those starts. He has been outstanding, Scott, giving up just 2 earned runs over 17 innings. And
1.06 ERA.
What's that?
1.06 ERA.
1.06 ERA, 0.70 whip. Scott, plus money right here, getting about plus 140 or so on Miami. I am absolutely anxious to take this play.
And they're fading the pitcher that you think is terrible, Martin Perez.
I don't like Martin Perez. He's been pretty good this season. I'll tip my cap. I would also play the under here, Scott. I think 9, even though it's at Fenway, it's still the Miami Marlins. This is a team that struggled to score runs. I don't know, since Miami Vice was a thing. They're just not a team that scores runs. They got 4 runs a game. They're consistent. Scored 4 runs against right-handers, 4 runs against left-handers, 4 runs on the road. But they are coming up against a Boston team that has been slugging the ball, averaging 5.3 runs per game there in Fenway. I think Poteet makes the difference. You want to take a look at the first 5 under, maybe even get a little 5 there. I don't know. But even 4.5 first 5, I'd play that. Give me, I don't know. I'm feeling froggy. Give me the Marlins and the under in this one.
Yeah, I think based on the current price, there's value on the Marlins. I know that the Red Sox have been a solid team, 10 over. However, only 1 over at home. Not really that good in Fenway.
Right.
And if you are expecting the Red Sox bullpen to keep it together, I'll tell you what, they're not going to, because this bullpen is kind of the Achilles heel of this team. I don't think that their relief pitching is very good. Marlins relief pitching, I think, is decent. I think that's one way to put it.
Yeah.
And if you're expecting Petit to give you about 5 or 6, I think you're in a pretty good shot. So plus 140 something, I think it's a pretty good deal. Red Sox, I think, should be closer to 140 than 150.
All right. Yeah, the kid's got good control. He's walked only 2 batters over 17 innings. Yeah, I'll take a shot with that. So
yeah.
All right. Hey guys, as always, if you're looking for more information on these games or any other games being played today, don't forget to stop by and check out winnersandwhiners.com. Winnersandwhiners.com, full previews and predictions on every game, every single day. Always there at the touch of a button, or the touch of the mouse, the click of the mouse. I got out over my skis, Scott. I'm not going to lie right there.
Happens.
Always there, always free. Winnersandwhiners.com. And of course, we wish you guys nothing but the best today. Hope every ticket in your pocket turns into cash money when you head back to the window. You guys have a great day. Have a good weekend. We'll talk to you soon. But go out there, have some burgers, maybe put a steak on the grill, all that kind of good stuff. It is Memorial Day, guys, and give a minute to think about the reason for Memorial Day, if you would. I'm not going to get too far into it, but just give a moment and a tip of the cap to those that put their lives on the line and have given the ultimate sacrifice to keep us living in the style that we've become accustomed. All right, guys, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Today in Sports Betting. Take care, everybody.